Ooh, are you ready for this? Are you ready? So I said in my last video that I wanted to clear the front because we moved that big sack and it gave me that motivation to just get going. Ignore the sexy sandals. Yes, with the odd socks. Look what I've got to manage. I didn't do that drain. I will say that. And I didn't do down there, but I did the front, and you want to see the transformation? Oh, I did a good job. Not only that, I went to the tip. An unexpected, impulsive moments of just like, I'm going to go to the tip again. Yes. And I make it so much clearer. I mean, look at it. That's just not what you want to pull up to when you've come back from Sainsbury's. You don't want to be like getting out of the car and seeing that. Or taking your rubbish out and looking like you're taking it to your own personal tip. No. So I was like, I'm going to get on this. I mean, it was a challenge. It was more of a challenge than I expected it to be. But, you know, I pushed myself through it. I was like, you will, Gabby. You will come through this. And you will be very, very happy with your efforts at the end. So there was some rooted bushes and whatnot down here that I've always hated. I hate them. I just ignore them. But prickly as well. Really prickly. And there is a funny little clip coming up, actually. I was quite tempted to put it at the beginning in like slow-mo or on repeat for like 3 or 4 times because it's just so funny. I speeded up this video of me pulling up that bush that is above my head right now. It's the funniest sight I've seen of myself in a very, very long time. So while I was pulling up all these branches down here, the thorny little bits were getting stuck into my glove and pricking my fingers, and it was hurting. It was hurting my little handies. I wasn't very happy about it either. No. Anyway, sat watching From last night, and Chase kept jumping up on the sofa, sitting with me. Then he side-eyed me. Instantly, as I witnessed his side-eye, I also witnessed something else which wasn't very pleasant. It smelt like a pickle had been rammed up his bum, and the fart gases trying to get around the pickle were absorbing the pickle, and on their exit, they were exploding the worst, foulest pickle egg dog farts you've ever smelled in your life. And then he'd run out the room, looking back as well, making sure we get a full, good strong inhale of this. It was making me and Alex feel physically sick. Like, what on earth? So I've just finished series 1, about to start series 2. Now I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I am enjoying it. I'm intrigued, kind of want to know what's happening. A few bits have been quite predictable, like, oh yeah, I know this is going to happen. And it does. The only thing I'll say about it is it's so unbelievably slow. Like, they can have like a 3-4 minute conversation and it's pointless. There's no need for that. It was just like, okay. And also I don't like the fact you can't skip the intro. So you have to fast forward like 6 minutes before the show actually starts. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. So, can't grumble. I'm raring to go on to series 2 because, I'm enjoying my little evenings of watching From when everyone goes to bed, apart from Alex, who sits there watching it with me. Yes. So I went to the tip, right? So now we have a booking system. You have to book in your place for the tip. So I booked my slot for 11 o'clock in the morning. I thought, I've got plenty of time. I've got nearly 2 hours. Ended up chatting to my neighbour who came out, and she was talking to me about herbs and tomatoes and all that she's grown, and she wanted to know if I wanted some. So I was chatting to her for a bit. And then I carried on, and then she came out again. We started chatting again. And then I got distracted by various other things, like in the house every time I nipped back in. And I was like, oh no, I'm supposed to be at the tip in 15 minutes. How I managed to get all of this in and down there on time, I do not know. But I did. And I got there at 10 to 11, joined the queue. I'm sitting there thinking, I've got my 11 o'clock slot. I should be in now. It was just gone 11 and I was still at the back of the queue. I was like, no, you are taking liberties is what you are. Couldn't find my green wire, so I started using the rope that I got from Hobbycraft to tie this rose up. And I kept twisting it thinking, well, the flower needs to be on my side, and it's not on my side. Gave up in the end and just let it hang over my neighbour. She can enjoy that nice pretty pink rose. Yeah, she can have that looking at her when she comes out of her front door. But yeah, I was in the queue. Oh my goodness me. All I kept thinking was, what if there's spiders in the back? Look, here we go. Look. That is such a funny What do I look like when it's sped up? That is hilarious. So this route was really hard to get up. It was very, very big, and it was also pulling up the flooring tile brick things that Nick and I can't look at myself. God, in those odd socks as well and sandals. Oh, that's a sight to be seen. That is a sight. It was pulling them up. So what I did was I got as much of the root visible as I could, and then I chopped it. Then I'd pull it, chop the next root I found, and then once I got the actual big stump of it out, I then pulled those remaining trellises of the old octopus roots and pulled them out. Symbol's coming to inspect my work. Yes, he was. He was like, "What are you doing, my mums? What are you doing to my patch?" This is his patch. He likes to keep an eye on this patch. He looks after this patch. And when you come to the bit here, when you get out the car, he has to lead you to the front door. Like, you can't go in front of him. He has to lead you. Because how else will we get home? We wouldn't know how to get home if it wasn't for Simba. So it's kind of like a thing. But yeah. So once the root and everything was up, it was looking very nice indeed. I was like, look at all this space. Look at it. Of course, I kept getting Nick to come out and inspect my work. Look at it. Look at the improvements I've made. And he said that once it's all cleared, he was going to finish doing the tiling down there, so we can have it all nice and smoothed out and looking very, very nice. Quite happy with my efforts there. So I was like, right, I'm leaving it there because I was in agony. Absolute agony after pulling out that bush. I mean, no, I'm not even going to go there. So the next day, it was chillier. As you can see, I'm wearing a jumper and a gilet, looking like a right oldie. Look at me. Enjoying my time in the garden, I was. Yes, I was. I moved the car forward and then back because I needed to get all of this, because this is where I had the moment where I'm going to go to the tip. So I moved it forward and angled it so I could just put it all straight in that boot. Oh, I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm finding any excuse to go to the tip. Sat there, had a bit of my cup of tea before I continued, you know, as you do. Make sure you get your cup of tea down, yeah? And then I was like, right, all the loose little bits are going to go in this humongous bag here. This bag is the old hay bag. So I'm like, yeah, put all of you in there. And then the big branches, I'm just going to put them straight into the boot. Wow. No, I had to cut them. I had to chop them. It took me ages. This is why I was chatting to the neighbour and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And she was like, I've got some tomatoes, you can have these. And I'm like, oh, yes. And then her Sainsbury's delivery turned up and she had her food delivery. So I carried on and I was like, oh no, these branches are really big, like really long. They're not going to fit in the car. So I had to hack at them and they were strong. Like, they were not giving. I don't know if you can hear that outside, but it absolutely hammered it down with rain in the early hours of the morning. It was the most amazing thing to wake up to. I was laying there like 3-4 o'clock in the morning and all I could hear was it crashing down. And do you know what my brain was saying? Did you get the washing in, Gabby? Did you get it in? Did you? So I had to sit there and think about it. And I couldn't be bothered to get up and actually go and have a look. I remembered getting it in, but did I get all of it in? You know, did I leave a pile on the chair or did I forget the little hanger? So what I did in my laziness in the early hours of the morning, listening to the rain crashing down with the window wide open, which was bliss, I went onto my ring camera setting and had a look. And I zoomed over the garden to see if there was anything that I left. And I was like, oh no, I've not left anything out there. It's all good. I can go back to sleep. And then I walked Chase this morning down to the school while I dropped off Elliot in. And we got absolutely soaked. But he put his anchors on. I was like, how dare you, you tiny little furry stinking thing. You stinky, stinky dog. I'm not joking. He is the stinkiest dog. Like, Nick calls him a rat. He's not a rat. He's beautiful. I love him to pieces. We all love him to pieces. But he is like a rat. He's just manky beyond belief. I've got the mankiest dog on the planet. He just stinks. Like, even when he's had like a full on grooming, he stinks, and he just farts all the time. And he's just mank is what he is. Mank. So that, you know, manky dog out in the rain was making it worse. And then he decided at the end of the road, no, I'm not walking home. We are going to walk further. He literally leans forward. The harness starts to go over his head and I'm going, Chase, we need to go home. It's crashing it down. I'm cold. No, so I had to walk on the block, didn't I? But I tricked him. Got to the end and I thought, no, I'm not having this. I'm cold and I want to get back and I want my breakfast. So I picked him up, turned around a couple of times, like on the spot, and then put him back down and walked up the hill. He fell for it. I could see that he was like thinking, hang on a minute, because he kept looking back and stopping, and then he carried on walking. I was like, I've just tricked my own manky dog. Bless his heart. Yeah, he's ignoring me. He's completely flomped out on the sofa next to me right now, and I know that I need to give him a bath, and I'm just not ready for it. I'm not ready to see that beige brown water flowing off his rank smelling skin. I'm so cruel. But I love him. Thing is, I can't spend a moment without him. He drives me mad. He follows me everywhere, as you've seen in my videos. I'm at the tip now, by the way. I'm at the tip. My favourite place in my hometown is this place right here, the tip. Do you know what made me laugh before I go back to Chase? It made me laugh. There was 3 cars pulled up only at the garden bay, right? And it was 3 women. One of them, me. All of us had the same haircut. I was like, okay, what's going on here? What is going on here? We all had the same haircut. One was grey, one was blonde, and there was me with me brown. I was like, this is so funny. It's like a simulator thing. We're all just plodding there. What is it with middle-aged women with short hair doing their gardening and taking it to the tip? I was like, oh God, I've reached that category. I've reached the category. I'm just moving all this rubble now because I need to find out how much it's going to cost me to either have it removed or take it to the tip myself. I don't particularly want to take it to the tip myself, but I know it costs down there as well. So is it worth me just getting someone to come and clear it? I need someone to come and clear it. I hate it. Unsightly corner. Back to Chase. I can't be without him. If he's not on the bed with me at night, I'm like, I need to find him. I literally have to get up and go and find him. But sometimes he likes to curl up on Oscar's bed. And I go in there and I'm like, Chase, come in with me. And he looks at me like, no, I want to be with Oscar. So then I can't sleep. Yeah, God knows what it's going to be like when I don't have him anymore. I mean, how old is he now? He's 11 in November. 11. Me old rickety dog. Anyway, look at the state of the fence. This fence is not that old. It's quite new. And the bushes have stained it green. And also there's like ivy stuff growing from next door, which is coming through the fence. So I tried to get as many roots underneath as I could. I thought, I'm going to crack them. So I was smashing them with my spade, with my little shovel. So I can't be having this. I'm going to have to put the sheeting down or something, can I, and try and stop it from coming through. Also, I'd like to paint this fence. I'm thinking of painting it a nice cottagey pink. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone just yet. I'll wait for the rubble to be gone. And then I'm going to just go out there and paint it. And then Nick's going to come back and be like, what? I'm going to be like, yes, look at it. Look at that pink. Oh. Yes. Do you know what? Nick went to bed last night. I could have killed him. I could have gone upstairs and wringed his neck. Do you know what happened? He went to bed last night. And as he got to the top of the stairs, he played really loud. The song stuck in my head all night long. I was not happy. Look at it now. Look at it. Wait for it before, because you've got to absorb it. Take it all in. My efforts, my hard labour. Yes. There's rubbish everywhere. It's all cluttered. Look at that now. I could fit another car on there. I'm not even joking. We can actually fit another car on there now. If I angle mine slightly to the side towards the bin, and once that rubble's gone, the bin's going to go all the way down to the end. Yeah? Thanks for watching. And I'll see you fine little pellets in my next one.